Yo, what is going on, everybody? Dyer, Jens, Long and Short, Mike, Peyton. How is everybody doing on this wonderful afternoon? Oh, what's going on here? So let's get into the topic of the title. How do we trade all-time highs? Right? We talked about this a little bit in the trade room this morning. But I know it's a big question, especially with a lot of the markets kind of creeping up to those all-time highs. Alex, what's going on? You don't think the Discord got an alert? Thought I posted in the Discord. Brother, what's up? I think I posted in the Discord. But yeah, so I mean, we're starting to see a couple of things. Bitcoin went to all-time highs, and the ES is climbing back up towards its all-time high. ETH is getting up there. Did ETH crack it? I haven't looked back. ETH did crack it on the Bybit chart, but not on the Coinbase chart. So, yeah, I mean, technically it did break the highs, but depends on what chart you're looking at. But yeah, so today we can see, kind of a little breakdown. Put in some structure, pops up, tries to reclaim this upper range, can't, gives one little bounce, breaks us down, right? This is a nice trade that we caught in the live trade room this morning. And you can see it's kind of just putting in a pretty big range. It's kind of going back and forth, and there is a lot of like news coming out, so it probably has to do a little bit with that. And you can, as you can see, let me just take a peek at some news real quick. There's a bunch of news coming out of the White House that was kind of messing with a lot of stuff and had to do with the feds, and then we just seen, pretty high back and forth. But it is putting in some good structure down here, building some value. As we can see, we're about, what's this? 16 TPOs in a row right here. And about, let's say 11 down here. So still would have to spend a bit more time down here in order to see our TPOCs shift down. So we're still looking safe right here. But one level that I am watching is, my support zone 3. I think if we get below that support zone 3, that this low right here is pretty weak, and we can shoot through some of these singles pretty fast, and my level that I'm really watching is that 60k, because that looks like the level that these buyers are going to need to hold, or else we're going to peak below it. Right, we've only been above 60k, a couple of times, and we want to keep the value above that 60k. So if we want to continue higher up to that 7,500 target by the end of the year that a lot of people are projecting, or projected in the past, I'm not sure. As you can see, I haven't really updated the chart, so from the trade this morning, we're going to move these down. I still like this as a resistance, but I'm going to have to change it up a little bit. Let's make this red. I hit that. So that's going to be about right here. Probably even be a little bit smaller than that. This is where we'll look for resistance. As we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? All kind of bounced off that area. And so they're kind of just ping-ponging back and forth right here. So what we'll do is we will, just be patient, kind of wait for them to get, decide what they want to do. We don't want to try to force anything. We just want to let the market tell us what to do and then trade it, right? Let's take a peek at ETH. ETH is still down in our support zone. Kind of got a little smack up at those all-time highs, got pushed back down. Still building some value. Another level that I like on here is this 40K or 4,000, 4K. We want to see it build and maintain value above there. To hold. Wait until it passes through the resistance zone on Bitcoin. I'd like to try along into the resistance zone. But I don't know if I will. I mean, I'm still in that short, so I don't know if I'm gonna close it yet. I have my stop at 64,500 still, so right at the VWAP. Well, it's a little bit above the VWAP, I guess. I need to move it down. Yeah, I would wait, and I mean, I like the opportunity to get in this upside back to the VWAP, but we'd have to see like some other things start to rally as well. Sanity is back to the tube. What's that mean? Sanity. The bottom to open, top. Right. So what I would be looking for is I would be looking for an entrance here at the bottom of the resistance zone, and then my target take profit one would be the VWAP. Right. That's where I'd be looking to take my profit one. But what I would have to make sure that I see is I have to see this get taken out. I mean, that's 400 points. You could take some profit there, but I would wait a little bit just to see if it gets taken out. Because if it doesn't get taken out, then boom, you want to close it right away. You don't want to sit through that. What's up, Otto? Why did I open a short? Because it was breaking structure and breaking out of my triangle. Cool, Jens. I'm glad that helps. Yeah, so basically the reason I got on the short this morning was because of how we were acting. So this thing, when it broke this, it came down, it kind of paused a little bit, and then it went all the way down, and then it came back, and then this bar just got, kind of undecided, didn't really do anything. And this was, a support zone as we were above it, but it got below it, and then it couldn't find any buyers to get back above it. So moved my, I took profit, and then moved my stop into profit. So no matter what, I'm in the money. Oh, cool, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's how we try to be here, man. We try to just be chill. And then just kind of stayed in it with that and let it go. The big thing was really just the entrance, and we were in the trade room. We talked about this trade. No, I didn't wait for it to cross the VWAP. I waited for it to get down to the low of structure. Oh, St. Elmo. Okay, what's up, man? Yeah. I was just waiting for it to break this low of structure, because then, I mean, this was, I don't even know what this is. This is almost like an accident right here, right? There's like a pausing point where they like had to take a breath before they decided to rip the market up. And then this was that all-time high thing. We closed those singles like really quick too. Let's I was looking for a long on 88 today, and I was looking for a nice little bounce, and it's getting pretty close. I'd like to see it a little bit lower, and I'd like to see it test and hold this level. It's a long-term support. It's drawn off of a daily chart though, that's why it goes through that, but it's a longer term support. And I'd like to put on a swing position around here. As long as it holds up above here, above this 214 level, I'd like to try to get into a nice long swing position with ADA. BNB was another butte today. Shout out to Luis if he's here, right? He called this trade today. Check out BNB, it's about to sell off. About 2 minutes later, just dumped. So really, really nice call. Let's take a peek at the ES. And so today on the ES, and the ES is just closed about 7 minutes ago. What? Oh, he's in a 9M long. I'm not sure where he got long from. I have no idea. Yeah, the ES did pop. Yeah, so we popped up. We're still not at all-time highs. And if we take a peek at the daily chart, you can see we broke out of this. Didn't backtest it. I was kind of waiting for it to backtest to see if it was going to go, but never did. And you know, we're approaching that all-time high. We're about 41. We're about 9 points away. So pretty good. Yeah, people can use Market Cipher in our Discord if they like it. I just, you know, want them to give a chance to market structure and see how, you know, beneficial it can be and consistent. Oh, 9 million long today. And it went shit house. He held. Well, he always holds those trades. I always see him hold that shit forever. Yeah, I don't know if that's the smartest thing though. Not really. He doesn't trade with a stop loss either, so it's not really my style. But you can see the ES on the daily, right? We had a nice pullback, and the recovery popped right up, and then really popped up on this second go, and it's looking like it wants to break the high of yesterday, or break the all-time highs. I mean, this was that holiday. Another thing we wanted to check out was the US 10-year. And you see bonds are getting close to getting back up to that 1.7. So the market rallied today and bonds rallied today. We are, you know, we're watching this. Let me put this on the daily. I'll just go this one. Yep. So you can see the daily, it's approaching up to this 1.7, 1.75 area. That's kind of the big area that we are watching. That, you know, with these yields rising, it could have a negative effect on the market. And you know, that's, you know, one thing, if you're trading futures, you definitely have to be paying attention to, right? Even if you're trading only crypto, you still need to be paying attention to the US market. A lot of these market decisions have interesting reactions from crypto, right? Yeah, you got to use what works for you, right? You know, I mean, for me, market cipher just doesn't do it. I mean, honestly, I haven't tried it, but I've tried all the indicators that are attached to it. And then today in the trade room, even one of our traders, Alex, said that I called the drop, and then 5 minutes later, red diamond, or was it red diamond, blood diamond, whatever it's called, showed up on market cipher. I mean, 5 minutes just by my brain indicator by looking at market structure. Let's check out the dollar. All right, we can see the dollar is having a up day today, but still kind of getting punished. not really having not really having a too bad of a pullback. You can kind of see we pulled back to these recent highs, so and then got bought up. So that's a pretty good sign right there. I don't think there was any really big earnings today either. Um, Other news, we do have a TPO boot camp coming up. It's going to be starting November 29th. Um, the dates are flexible, so like if you have issues and you're not going to be able to make a certain date, if we get enough people to agree on a different date, we can probably push it to the left or to the right. But you know, we'll figure it out. So it's exciting. You know, a lot of people are sending me messages about getting into another boot camp because it's live and it's you know, it's nice. It's a real good time because you know I really like to get to know everybody in the community. So that's my chance to kind of get to know you guys. What indicators? So this is called a time price opportunity chart, a TPO. And we using market structure. We can erase that. Let's see, and you just you can look for, you know, a different trend. Once one trend gets broken, look for it to hold a different trend. And we'll watch that one. Yeah, it's like calling candlesticks as an indicator. But yeah, you can access it by clicking indicators and then typing in TPO. And then one of our community members actually here in the Discord, Druther, he made this indicator. And you just click on it and then boom, magic right on your chart. Tells you where value is, tells you where the market's going, tells you you can just close your eyes and buy. All of these good stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Never close your eyes and buy. This was that from this morning. But yeah, any other coins you guys want to take a peek at? I just wanted to get online, um, do like a little update. You know, today we traded 75% profitable in the live trade room. So 75% of the people that were in the live trade room this morning were profitable, which is, you know, a pretty good in that amount of people. Ruining Spaceman's business. Hey, you're better at something. You know, what can you do? And then this week total, I think we are about 72%. Yesterday was a tough day for a lot of people. I think with a lot of how choppy the market was. It was an interesting day. And then, you know, today in futures we actually traded really well. So that was nice. But if there's any coins you guys want to take a peek at, or if any other questions, like I said, you're able to get into the TPO bootcamp coming up in November. We also have a live trade room that you're able to join. The price is going to get adjusted here pretty soon, so just be ready for that. It's going to go down, because I want everyone to have the opportunity to be able to join. Right? I know $100 is a lot for a lot of people, so we're going to lower it down to 50 for a little while, and you know, hopefully we'll be able to spread this message. Click on trading all-time highs. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we're able to you know, get the message to more people and see the success that we've had. And if you guys have any, you know, questions about how the boot camp goes or anything like that, take a peek in our Discord. You can just scroll down, and you'll see the Discord. Join the Discord, and there's a trade room review space, and then there is also a boot camp review space. The yellow lines. This yellow line is just a long-term support line. Trend, like a long-term trend support. Right, and this one is another longer term one. From where, like, well, it's from the daily, but Yeah, I just draw them because I like to see where, where we're expecting things to come back down to. And typically, they do follow trends, right? And then we just track value, and then it's easy. And the horizontal bars. Horizontal bars are just like lines that I've drawn, just levels. Like, so this was my level for the all-time high. But yeah, so let's get into that. How do we pick levels from above here, right? Because price has never been up here. If we go back, forever, price has never been up here. And so the white and yellow sideways bar. Oh, this one in the bottom? This is the CVD, cumulative volume delta. Yeah, these ones. Yeah, this is cumulative volume delta. Just type in cumulative into indicators and it'll be the first one by like Lonely Island or something like that. Or these. These are the this is the TPO if you're talking about these ones. Yeah, these. Yeah, this is the TPO. So this is how you can tell where value is at. It's based off of time. So this is based off of volume. This is our volume profile, and this is based off of time. So each TPO represents 30 minutes of time spent at that level. But yeah, so what we're doing for all-time highs, right, is we need to find somewhere where we see some consolidation, right? And so we can see some nice consolidation here before we popped up. And so what I like to do is I like to take these levels and just kind of take this top, take this low, oops, and then I like to drag it up to the top. And you can see this one's a little bit different because the value area I got, it's not going to be perfect every time, but this is just how I'm going to look at levels going up. I know there's a lot of ways to do it. And then I just would double this, double it again, and then just kind of split it in half for the most part. But there is some some other ways you can look at like Fibonacci's, things like that. So if you were to like draw a fib from the last swing low to the current swing high, you could clone it. And then I guess you would just drag it right here. You can see, and it's pretty, I mean, pretty close to the lines that I drew earlier anyways. But, I mean, there's multiple ways to do it. You can kind of just project that along your diagonal lines, right? Really, the thing is that what we're looking for is you're just evaluating your trade as soon as you get in it. So let's say you take this trade to the all-time highs, right? You get in here, break this level, we come up here. Imagine that you don't have any of these levels, but you're just trading, and what you're watching the volume, you're watching how it builds value, you're watching for a poor high or poor low, you're watching for key signs that are going to tell you that this thing's not going to continue up. And when you see that, if you get in the trade here and then all of a sudden it gets to here and starts kind of fizzling, and then all of a sudden you see some sellers come in, we start breaking some lows, well, it's time to get out, even though we don't know where resistance is at most of the time. 4,500, pretty psychological level. 4,600, 4,700, 4,800, 4,900, right? They're all fairly close to the same levels that I have. But those are typically where you'll see some resistance in these, undiscovered plays or undiscovered places. So do you want to long when they are thin, or below, and short when it's thin and thick bars? Oh yeah, it's a lot more complicated than that, man. So they're just showing value, right? Just showing value. You could take a long from like down here, up here, right? Just gonna trade through value. You just have to understand how it works. And that's something that we talk about in the TPO bootcamp for sure, and get like more into depth, because if really explain it, it would take a while. But to just simplify it, and the reason that we use it, right, is because we're tracking value. So as you can see in the blue area here is our value area, right? So this is where 70% of our time was spent, right? Last value area, 70% of our time was spent, so on and so forth. And so what we're doing is tracking where value is going, okay? So let's say we have value here. Today we have overlapping to above value. This value area is basically the same. And we have value area to low. So it breaks the previous 3 days, basically the low value area. This is our balance zone here, right? Nice and balance. Then it breaks a low, right? Bounces. You get a big value area here. This one's nice and small. This one's overlapping to the upside, but pretty much 100% net long. And then we know that there's going to be a resistance here from our previous value. It pops up and just goes, right? And this was this trade to the upside was a trade, out of that was actually posted. I'm pretty sure I posted it in the trade plan that goes out every morning or every afternoon, I guess now. Yeah, so it's honestly, there's not really another way to trade. If I guess it just depends on what you like, but if you want to be consistent and trade to make a daily income, which is what we're all about here in this community, this would be the place for you. Someone wanted to check out XRP. XRP is still holding our support, and this diagonal line is drawn off of a daily chart. That's why it cuts through price action here, but it's still holding us up pretty decently here. Yeah, price is hanging out in those value areas. And you can see we're building some value right here. The nice thing that I like to see is if we're looking at this, and we can imagine that this will be our new value area. Look at this lower value areas here. This value area is going to be up here. So we can see that we're actually getting some, we have the big value area up here. So obviously we're up and above, but we're kind of backfilling this gap right here because there was a gap on both sides, right? Not much value here, not much value here. Came back down, but we're finding value here above previous value, right? And that's what gives us, this momentum to get onto the train. Right, there's like a little guy flying, almost like a train. To me, it looks like a train. But yes, that's something that you're looking for. So I think that as long as it maintains these this new high or low, then it should still have some potential to go back to the upside. And then on the upside, we'll be looking for some resistance. Ugly red color. What's going on here? Go. Looking for some resistance on these previous highs, and I would even say from about 177 to 120 or 117 to 120, it's probably a decent spot to at least take some profit if you get in there. Yeah, it's the one by Druther. So if you go here and type in TPO, market profile with TPO Druther. But also be a little bit cautious about this if it breaks down, because you can see these prior tops, but if it breaks down, it's probably going to come back down to this 104 level as well. There's not much support below this, and it's already kind of trying a hold, and it's kind of dipping back down into these previous points of control. So if it can't hold up here, it'll probably look back down here towards the $1 104 mark to find some more buyers. Oh yeah, the 4-hour streams. Those are some good ones. Yours looks weird compared to mine. Oops. Maybe you just have to let it load. Oh, Yurdy Mayfire, what's up, man? Shout out on Twitch. Yeah, so it should be an interesting open coming into the Asia session. Really, we've gotta hold this support zone. All right, we don't hold the support zone. I think, you know, that 60K is going to be a target for sellers. And, you know, I think they're going to, you know, give it the old college try and try to push us down. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, it's gotta hold here. So if your system is time entry and exit or forecast trends is no, so what we're doing here, I mean, there's so much to explain. Basically, you're gonna have to start, the first thing you should start with before even really looking at the chart is understanding actually how trades occur in the market, right? Understand the auction process that it actually is. And so um a way to explain that, right, and a way that I always tend to use is imagine you're at a, you know, a farmer's market, and you're going there to get apples, right? And there's 3 booths selling apples, right? This guy's got 100 apples. He needs to sell. This guy's got 100, and this guy's got 100, right? And here's you, thick man. And you're here, and you're here to buy 500 apples. It's Thanksgiving coming up, and you've got a huge family, and you're about to cook a bunch of apple pies, right? You need to buy 500 apples. Well, if you just go straight to this guy and say, hey, I'll take all of your apples, and he's going to sell them, let's say he's selling them all for $1. He'll be like, shit, okay, I'll sell them. This guy's going to hear that, right? And he's going to be, I'm not selling them for $1, I'm selling them $2. And so you're either going to have to pay up to get all of these, right? And then the same thing's going to happen to this guy. He's going to hear, and he's not going to sell them. He's going to sell them for $3. You have to keep moving up to buy them all. So instead of buying 300 apples for $1, now you just end up paying more because of how the auction works, right? So for every buyer, there's a seller, right? So if you kind of imagine the auction process, this is where price is at. This is where a seller is at. This is where a buyer is at. A buyer has to move up in order to execute a trade, right? And a seller has to move down in order to execute a trade. There is really no meat in the middle. That's where the market makers come into play, right? But if you are buying everything up, and let me erase this real quick, and we'll find some blank screen so we can really draw this up. If you're looking at the book, and let's say this is what we're saying. So one guy had 100, another guy had 100, another guy had 100, right? You have 500. So if these guys want to sell, they're going to have to sell. They're going to have to move down to sell to you, or you'll move up. What's up, Eric? What's up, Luis? They'll have to move down to sell to you, right? And so how the auction process is going, because this guy, he wants to buy 500 apples, but he doesn't want to pay. And let's say this guy has, let's say there's 5 people here. And so he doesn't want to pay the difference of price in between all of these apples just to fill his order. He'd rather fill them all for $1 or as little as he can. So what he can do is he can come up, he can buy a couple, say he buys 50, right? And then comes back down. And he's bidding. This is the bid. He's saying, I bid $5, right? Well, in comes this guy behind him, and he's like, oh, you know, I'll take them all. And he takes their last 50, right? So the next guy is, so this guy's gone. The next guy is selling 100 apples, but he's selling these ones at $2. And you still have 450 apples that you need to buy, and this guy behind you just kind of screwed you, right? So let's say he was full. He only wanted 50 apples, and then he left the farmer's market, so he's gone. So now you're back on the bid. And this guy is saying, you know what? It's getting late. Let me get out of let me just sell these. I'm done. I'm gonna hang out, go to the lake today. So he moves down, he sells you 100 apples, right? Well, as he starts selling them to you, because you have 500 that you're willing to pay right here, and you're bidding 50 cents for them. You're willing to accept them for 50 cents, but you see that it's a lot of volume pouring in. So what do? You lower yourself down. And you go, okay, well, you know, I'll take a 50 off you, but I want to get 50 more, and I want to get them for 25 cents. If the guy's desperate, he'll move down and he'll sell. And the only way that price is going to continue going down is if all of these sellers from above also move down to these slots, right? And this is just kind of like the basics of how the auction process works. You know, tying it all together is a big key. And you know, the reason I explain that is because that's what we're observing here. You know, this is like a topographic view of the auction process, and we kind of see this, and you know, we have MapQuest basically, so we know where we're going, right? And we pretty much track that by using value, right? So right now we're building value above previous value, but we're not in today's current day's value. And you can see, you know, from right here, we pretty much sold off as the Asia session opened, traded sideways. England open popped us up, and then the US session sold us back down. So it'll be interesting. Right, we saw Asia sell the open yesterday. Let's see what they do today, coming up in about, what, 3.5 hours. So it'll be interesting to see what they get after. Any other questions? Intel reported news today. Actually, let's take a peek at Intel. Oops. Intel. Whoa, my God. Oh my God. What happened? Intel third quarter adjusted revenue 18.1 billion, estimated 18.24. So they missed earnings. They beat EPS though, but they missed earnings, and they missed earnings by a decent amount, 0.23 billion. So they're getting smacked pretty hard. So whoever got some puts on Intel going into this, goddamn. Yeah, so price is going to gravitate towards value, because if you think about it, think about if, let's say if this is a Michael Jordan basketball, right? Oops. I know, terrible basketball, but a basketball. And I paid $50 for one, Jen's paid 50, Druther paid 50, Eric paid 50, Long and Short paid 50, everyone paid $50, right? And then you come up and you're like, ooh, basketball. And it's the last one, right? And this guy came up at the same time. And it's like, you guys both want it. So now the bidding starts, right? And so what happens, you guys can bid it up. But ultimately the mean price is going to be $50. So anything over that you guys pay for $50, that's when you're getting out of value. And value, we measure value by how much time we spend in a specific area. Right? And you can see Intel doesn't really have a lot of trading, but you can kind of see how the value area was today, and then after hours, this light blue shaded line as after hours. Well, they got just absolutely crushed. Oh, I wonder if Beyond Meat is going to go up too. So Beyond Meat, I just saw some news that says McDonald's chances of adding McPlant to the nationwide menu are fairly high. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, what a massacre, huh? Let's see if there's any other good earnings out. What's tomorrow? Who else reported today? Tesla did, I think, right? Oh no, their earnings was yesterday. Oh, Snap was today though. Snap got clapped. Oh my goodness. Look at all these things just getting clapped. I wonder when the market opens back up if it's gonna take a piss. What else? Old Chipotle reported today too. It must have beat. Earnings. Oh, maybe they haven't reported yet. Yeah, nothing else really too big. Couple banks and stuff, but that's it. Anything else you guys want to take a peek at before we call it? We had a little sell-off of Apple during the market, but it rebounded really nicely. You can see it kind of finished up, well, it closed back in value, but it did peak its head above and set some, highs. Not up to the all-time high yet, but they're pretty good. And their earnings are next week on the 27th. If it flashes the red dot, meaning it's leaving that area. No, so the red dot just shows you where price is currently at. That's it. So this is the red pill. Right? Try to chase it around until you swallow it, and then you can start to see the real world. Matrix reference. Right? Yeah, it's just showing us where current price is at. Here's flash the red dot on BTC 15 minutes. Are you using Market Cipher? The TPO is meant to be used on a 30-minute chart. I mean, you could use it on a different chart, I guess, a different time chart, but it's made to be used on a 30-minute chart. So that's where I would recommend the only time frame that you use it on. Really, the only two time frames that you actually need are 30 minutes and the daily. And then like maybe like weekly, monthly, yearly, like depending upon like how far back you're gonna go. But for like, you know, today's trading action. Deal Toss, what's up, man? How's it going? Does Amazon report? Let's see. Amazon is going to report. I know they report next week. Yeah, the 28th. What does it tell us? The surprise. Negative 29. That's interesting. It's already telling us that, but it hasn't been there. Yeah, so to increase the tick size, you're just gonna drop this down, click on the little settings wheel, and here's the tick size right here. Then you can change the colors if you want. All right, I just left everything stock the way it is. And it works, you know, excellent. See, Amazon had a little pullback in the aftermarket. Look at that. And Amazon couldn't take any more highs. Let's look at Facebook. Facebook's getting fucking smacked. Oh my god. 3 o'clock might be an interesting time. Those are called TPOs, Brian. Was there news on Facebook? That falls short as Apple privacy changes hurt ads business. Well, people probably selling during some earnings. So, you know, brave people are going to buy some calls tomorrow going into Friday. What else are we looking at? Let's look at Netflix. Netflix had a nice day today. About Microsoft. Ooh, Microsoft putting in work today, huh? Microsoft's been on just an absolute tear. Going into earnings on the 27th as well. So put in a high in the after hours. You guys know how I feel about after hours. Don't really count it. Well, actually, I could put it in more. Oh yeah, I did put in. Yeah, put in a high right going into the close, and then pretty much closed right on the high. So pretty good. And then what do we want to look at? Google. I think everything in tech is pretty much getting smacked. Except for a few things. Facebook, Google, Apple, Tesla, Netflix. Yeah, we'll see how they rebound, right? Remember, this is after hours, so it's really going to depend on how it opens, right? The market's really thin right now, and if people are really trying to get out of positions, they're going to have to come down. So imagine it like this, you know, back to the auction market theory. Imagine that you have 500 shares of Google, right? And price is here, and all of a sudden you see price start to drop, and you're thinking, oh shit, and you got in right here. You're thinking, oh shit, I need to get out of here. But no one's willing to buy 500 shares until down here. So you've got to move down. You've got to sell all 500 of your shares to this guy who's looking to buy them on this low. Or else you might have to just sit through this, right? So, you know, that's just that's why we see stuff like this, especially these after hours moves, because nobody was selling this. Does anybody use Trader's Reality Indicator? I do not. Yeah, this community is probably the best community out there. Everyone's willing to help and no one shit talks, right? And if you're new, no one's gonna bash you for being new. Coinbase says starting today, Assemble Protocol ASM is available on Coinbase.com and the Coinbase Android and iOS apps. Treasuries, ADEMO, future sanctions planned in crypto space. Hmm. Yeah, see, mine is not a strategy. It's it's just the market structure. It is exactly what it is. There's no strategy. It's just that's what's happening. You know what I mean? It's like that scene from Waterboy when Vicky Valancourt says it's gonna be 27-10, and then the guy's like, "Oh, where'd you come up with that?" She goes, "There ain't no guess. That's what it's gonna be." Right, and that's kind of how it is with uh market structure. Right, it does the same stuff repeatedly, and as long as you track the value, you should be able to be on the right side of it for the most part. Right, unless you're letting some bias or emotions. Right, there's a lot of things that go into trading that are not really talked about. So it's not as simple as just knowing what's going to happen, right? Like I can start two trades right now, and if I had them and someone else had them, the difference of the trade of how it's managed, um, at the end of the trade, if we compared profits, they might be the same, might be different. One person might have lost money somehow, right? It's all, it's all. It's not just the entries. You've got to manage the trade yourself. It's so much more than just that, right? It's a lot deeper than people think. Getting annoyed with Quant Tower. Just check something. Yeah. Shoot me a message, Jens. That's cool. Yeah, we used to nail a lot of stuff. When I used to live stream more. But we'll be live streaming more now. I was fully invested in getting people to, really accept the information and understand how to utilize it. And we're starting to see that in our trade rooms. We've seen a couple of people have had a couple of months of green in a row. A couple of people are on their first month of being green in a row, and then weeks. A couple people are on their first week or weeks. So it's really cool to see. Um, and the thing that I'm not really focused on being green. What I'm focused on more is for you understanding the full process and executing properly, because executions really are going to be the driving factor in whether you're going to be profitable or not, right? You could, let's say you get in a trade, right? And let's say you were right here and you're like, I'm getting in the trade right here because we're going up, right? But this wick stops you out and then it goes up without you. So now you were wrong and you were right on the same try, right? Um, and it's that's probably the most frustrating thing about trading is like, I fucking knew it was going to go up. You know what I mean? Like you just knew it, you felt it, but you were just too early, or you didn't wait till till you got in, or till the right time to get in. So you kind of got stuck, and then at the time when it came again, you didn't get in, and so you watched the move go on without you. And that's a frustrating thing. But that's kind of what I'm here to kind of guide you guys on. Like I say, I can only show you the door, you've got to walk through it. But my main focus is not whether you make $100,000 today or $100 today. My main focus is that you make a trade plan and execute it properly and understand your emotions instead of trying to control them or suppress them. To the tick just means like, you know, every level has a tick. Ticks everywhere. The early days. Yeah. I'll just jump in the Discord and be like, guys, it's game time. Strap your helmets. Yeah. But it used to be a lot more volatile back then, you know? It was nice. You just stay patient, wait for it to go, and then boom. Yeah, that's probably my claim to fame is the Elon drop. Everyone in this Discord got notified about 1 minute before it happened. It was a tight one, but he was keeping me on the phone forever. We get an indicator to see the sessions. What do you mean, like the Asia session, the US session, the London session, and the Australia session? I'm really only tracking the 3 sessions. There's actually 4 sessions, but I'm only tracking the 3. The first session's basically just not needed. Really, the most important thing is like you just need to know, um, you just need to know like what time they start, and then just remember like for me, you know, 5 o'clock is the Asia Open every day, so that's how I'm tracking that. Some price predictions for BTC going down according to these tick charts. Um, this is just a regular chart. It's not a tick chart. Um, this is a 30-minute chart, but you know, like I said, I think that if we do break down, that these sellers will want to test that 60K and see how, you know, how these buyers are feeling about these new levels. Um, and if you see some buying above that 60K, that's going to be, you know, bullish for the market. That's going to be uh, you know, you might see some more buyers buying. If you start to see a lot of buying at 60K, that's going to encourage other people to buy it at 60K, right? Because remember, like I said, we're trading value, and that's the auction process and all that. You know, if I paid $50 for a basketball, or if I bid $50 for a basketball, and then in comes long and short, and long and short goes, I'll bid $60, and it's like, well, shit, I was bidding by myself at 50. This guy comes in at 60, and all of a sudden we hear from them back, and someone goes $80, right? And they're like, well, what the fuck? And it was like, and then we just keep bidding back and forth, right? And so you start to see, and that's where FOMO comes from, right? But most of the time FOMO just comes a little bit too late, and that's how you get caught in the wrong spots. But you're looking for this process to continue up above this 60K in order for us to keep holding and then maybe continue to the upside. But below that 60K, I think that these sellers are going to try to attack these single prints down here. And if they do attack some of these single prints, you know, that could leave our lower balance zone into question. Right, so maybe down to 55. I know it's a long ways, but you know, it just takes time, and there's nothing we can really do to except trade the chart in front of us. So yeah, I don't know where he is. I haven't seen him in a minute. Um, he's in New Zealand, isn't he? I think so. But yeah, so you know, I don't really do predictions. Um, I just, you know, I'm a day trader. I'm not really I mean, I can swing trade. I just don't really like, I don't like to swing trade crypto really. I don't mind swing trading other things, but um, single prints, single prints are liquidation breaks basically. So like right here, um, all these people are getting stopped out. So they were sellers, right? and now they have to buy their position back, so they're buying it back, and that's what causes this move. And so imagine, this is back to the auction market theory, but um, so imagine during these single prints, right? You were a seller. You're up here and you got short. Well, all of a sudden price starts to climb back up and you got short at, let's say, $5, right? And this is $1 here. And a price got down here and you're like, I'm not taking profit, it's gonna keep going. And it starts to climb up and you're like, it's gonna keep going. Climbs up and then you're like, fuck, I need to get out. And so boom, you go over there and you smack the bid. And so you get out, and then this guy gets out, and then this guy gets out, and this guy gets out, and that's what causes that break. So all these people that were short have to buy their position back, and they're trying to buy it back under their entry price, and they're not able to because there's not enough supply. So there's not enough people selling the market as well in order to fill that. And especially we see a lot of single prints form in crypto because of how it's not as liquid as a lot of markets. So a lot of single prints kind of get left behind. Oh, what's up, Cam? How's it going? But yeah, so like I was saying, I'm not really I don't really make predictions like, oh, it's gonna go to 70K, oh, it's gonna go to 20K. It doesn't matter to me really. I'm not a long-term holder of Bitcoin anyways. I hold a lot of the other coins, but I don't have any Bitcoin. Actually, I do have one Bitcoin, but that's just to trade with. Um, and then the I'm more trading for my levels for the day, right? So there's opportunity at resistance zone 1 to get long, and there's opportunity there to get short, right? The big thing is kind of deciding on what information presents itself and how it presents itself, as if the trade is going to be executed or not, right? And that just takes time. A lot of screen time is very important, and I think underestimated by a lot of people. They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert, right? So imagine if you sleep, you know, every day for 10 hours, which would be crazy, for a year, right? That's only, or if you, let's say if you're on the charts for 10 hours a day for a year, what's that? 365 times 10, so 3,602. Was it how many? 365? Yeah, 365. So, and then times that by 2-ish to get your 10,000 hours, 2 point something. Or I guess it'll probably be close to 3 something. But yeah, so don't underestimate that screen time. Don't underestimate your ability to just be patient and watch. That's going to be the key thing here. AJ91, what's up, man? C137 doesn't he decided he didn't want to be on stream anymore, so he's not coming on stream. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any more questions before I jump off, if not, I've got about 15 minutes before I've got to go. I got to go pick up my kid from school. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. How's everything going with you, AJ? Nobody's trying to buy a damn $61,000 Bitcoin holding dip. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I don't think anyone would really want to, but um, I just try to stick away from those biases, Somebody's buying it. You know what I mean? Somebody's buying up here. And a couple of our community members have gotten like calls from friends saying, "Hey, how do you buy Bitcoin?" You know, so somebody's looking to buy. And the thing is, when stuff starts to hit the news about Bitcoin being all-time highs, stuff like that, um, that's how that's how random people start to jump in there. I got a question. Okay to use volume. Yeah, I don't see any issue with that. So like if you were to go like this, uh, so it'll show this volume profile will show anything that's on the screen. Like if you wanted to do 2021, you probably have to switch it to a daily though. Twenty twenty January. Yeah, I mean it's a little look at like this. Yeah, so here's January or February-ish 2021. Here's January. You can see like where most of the volume got accumulated right here. Oh, this is ETH, but yeah, same idea. 2137 around this area. And then you've got another big buying happening around here, around this 32. Had some decent buying up here around this 38. All right, that's why I'd like to see some continuation up in this 4K level to get that continuation. Yeah, I mean, that's good information because that's more of a longer term support, right? So if you take value area high from this volume profile um over that period of time, you kind of see where it lines up. The hard thing about this is that it's not really to the tick, so it's a little bit harder to be more accurate. Um, oh yeah, and you do the fixed range. Yeah, I've seen that one. But yeah, so it's a little bit more difficult to be like accurate to the tick. But if you're trading like Bitcoin, it's not that big of a deal because you don't really need to be that accurate with Bitcoin. But if you're trading, any of these altcoins that are a little bit smaller or even ETH, honestly, it's the more precise you can be, the better. Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah, the fixed range. Where's it at? Yeah, fixed range volume profile. When I see BTC in the news, I sell. If it's good news, I sell. If it's bad news, I buy. That's pretty much not a bad idea. You just got to make sure that you're getting the right side because a lot of times there's like information from both sides coming out. Yeah, thanks, AJ. Appreciate it. It's nice. It's nice that Druther hooked it up with his TPO and we're able to just stay on TradingView and then just execute my trades through my iPad. I appreciate it, Brian. Thanks. Yeah, Cam, I hope that helped. Um, yeah, if you guys don't have anything else, I'm gonna take off. Like I said, I gotta grab the kids from school, and yeah, appreciate everyone coming out. Appreciate everyone smacking that like button. We got 17 likes, 16 people watching, so 18 likes. Nice. But you guys have a wonderful day. And if you are not in the Discord, remember to scroll down, join that Discord, and introduce yourself, and we will point you in the right direction. And then also, if you are interested in looking into the TPO bootcamp, we have a TPO bootcamp coming up 29 November. There's reviews in the Discord if you're interested in getting some information on how they go. Um, And yeah, you guys have a wonderful day and make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan.